We're really, really happy to be here. The last few years for us have been really hard to explain. As Dorian said, we thought we were getting a mini pig. You see these cute, adorable little pictures of these tiny little pigs that are going to stay in the little teacups for their entire life. I mean, who wouldn't fall in love with them? I've always considered myself an animal lover, but one thing I never was, I never considered myself or ever thought I would be, was vegan. Then I got to know this pig. I got to know Esther. And I remember even the first few weeks that she came home, somebody said to me, "Oh, Jenkins, you're never going to be able to eat bacon anymore." And my response was, "Don't be stupid, that's a different kind of pig." That's the kind of wall that we had built up between what we consider a companion animal and food animals. We keep them in a completely different pile, if you will, that do not deserve the respect and the love that our companion animals get. So Esther tore that wall down for us. And when we started the Facebook page, we had no intention of it becoming what it did. It took us a year and a half to kind of get our heads back on straight, to understand what was going on with Esther and the ways that she had impacted our life. And the idea for the Facebook page was simply to show our friends and family what was going on, what it was like. We lived in a place where there were bylaws against having, they call hooved animals in town. So Esther was illegal, we weren't supposed to have her, and because of that, we had never really put her on social media. We kept her very much to ourselves, and believe it or not, even our neighbors knew that we had her, but didn't know how big she was, how big she would get, or exactly what was going on. So we got really lucky, the town didn't bother us. But when we came to put this Facebook page up, we just wanted to show those people that we talked to all the time, but that didn't come to our house, what Esther was like, what she looked like, what she did every day. And within days, the page started to go crazy. It was from day zero, in 80 days, by 80 days, it had gone to 100,000 followers. So Derek and I panicked. We didn't really know what to do. Again, we lived in a place we weren't supposed to have her, and this kind of took our whole secrecy thing away. We'd had a year and a half without anybody coming knocking at our door, and all of a sudden a few pictures online, and 100,000 people to us might as well have been the entire world. The population of our town was 30,000 people. So 3 times the number of people lived in our town were now following us and seeing what we were doing. It was unbelievable. But what was really, really interesting is, again, we had no intention of that page becoming anything other than somewhere for us to show photos and to show people what we were doing on a daily basis. What we did not expect was that people would come onto that page and would have basically the same experience that we had. We started to get messages really, really quickly from people saying, "Oh my God, I had no idea pigs were so smart," or that she's litter trained, or so cute, or so funny, or all these wonderful things. The same personality traits you equate to a dog or a cat, right? So what was happening is these people, like us, that never considered a pig as anything other than a food item, found the playing field getting leveled, and so they would write us in and say, "Hey, I don't think I can eat bacon anymore. This has changed the way that I see pigs entirely." And that's when Derek and I realized that there was something to it. Esther didn't just change us. Nobody ever told us that we had to do anything particular or said, "Well, you have a pig, now you have to be vegan." It never happened. Never happened. The only reason we went vegan is because the connection we made with her. She gave us desire to want to know more. That desire to want to know more is what sent us looking for the information that we all know is there. Everybody knows it's there, it's been there forever, but you spend your lives ignoring it. As a non-vegan or somebody who didn't consider themselves an animal activist, I knew those videos were there, I knew those clips were there, I knew all of those organizations existed, but I had no interest in looking. I was afraid to know what they were going to say, so I didn't look at it. Esther made us want to, and Esther has since made many, many other people want to do the same thing. So when we realized that the idea of being kind and helping people make this connection to an animal and helping them see them in a way that they've never seen them before was an incredibly powerful thing, way more than we ever expected. And as I said, the page has continued to grow. Right now we're at about 1.3 million followers just on Facebook. Across all of her social media platforms. We've got about 8 pages going right now, which is crazy. It's turned into a monster all on its own. She's got almost 2 million followers all over the world. Almost 44 countries contributed to a crowdfunding campaign that helped us raise $440,000 Canadian. What would that be in euros? 300,000-ish euros. And we did that in 60 days. That's what allowed us to buy the farm, start Happily Ever Esther Farm Sanctuary, where we've currently got about 53 or 54 residents living with us now. Happily Ever Esther really allows us to take that relationship with Esther to the whole next level. People are coming, again, from all over the world to visit Happily Ever Esther, in part to meet Esther, but in part to see what has happened as a result of her. So they're meeting all these other animals. I'm not sure if you guys have met Cornelius yet. Have you guys seen Cornelius? God, I love him. He's a turkey, for those of you that don't know. And just like Esther, I'd never known a turkey before. You know, I'd never ever met a turkey. And then Cornelius comes around, and if you haven't seen his videos, he's the funniest little bird that you will ever meet. I had no idea that turkeys had so much personality or so much character. So again, it's all about getting to know these animals that changes the way that you view them entirely. Cornelius has very quickly become one of my best friends. He hugs me every morning. He spends all day sitting at the back door. He's like a little puppy. And again, to watch people's comments on the comment feeds on Esther's pages saying, "Oh my God, I had no idea," or, "You know, you've really changed Thanksgiving." That's one of my favorites. is you've changed Thanksgiving for us this year, and that's amazing. So what's important to us is that when you go into the store, or for any of these people, I guess I have to clarify too, Esther's target audience is non-vegans. The reason that we're going after those people is because that's where we know we can make an impact, right? So the idea with Esther is for people to go into the store, to go to the grocery store, go to the restaurants, these places that they go every day, and instead of seeing that package of bacon, they see Esther, right? That's what comes to mind. Esther comes to mind. Now we've got Cornelius coming to mind when you go to the grocery store. So for us, it's all about connections. It's all about being kind, being supportive, encouraging people. When we get somebody that says to us, "I don't think I could ever eat bacon anymore," the first thing that we say is, "That's amazing, congratulations." The last thing that we say is, "Well, what about chickens, cows, and fish?" Right? We've already got them on a hook here with we're giving up bacon. Seize it. Be friendly, be supportive, be kind to those people, and help them take those next steps. So what we do again, we congratulate them, and we say, "Hey, have you seen Esther's Kitchen?" It's one of our other Facebook pages that features nothing but vegan recipes, but we don't use the word vegan. Keep in mind that the people that we're talking to are non-vegans, right? A lot of non-vegans get very defensive when you bring up the word vegan to them. So we don't use it. We take it out of the equation early on. It's Esther approved. Why don't you check out Esther's Kitchen for some amazing Esther approved recipes? You'll find all kinds of pork-free stuff over there. Leave it at that. Right? They're interested, they're excited, they're going to head over to Esther's Kitchen, they're going to start looking at some stuff. Then we can use our things on Esther's Kitchen page to start communicating further, right? To take that to the next step. But step one is making that connection, getting people to acknowledge that there is something about Esther, or about Cornelius, or about Pouty, one of the cows at the farm, or any of the other residents that people meet when they come there. And finding out what it is. What is it that's going to grab those people? And use that to your advantage, right? Take that connection with Esther and help it grow into something a lot bigger. It's not just about Esther, but it is step one, right? Is getting them to fall in love with her, to see things a little bit differently, and start asking questions. That's how we can actually make progress. When people ask us questions, not when we shove information down their throat, because they get defensive. Shuts them down. We've seen it happen a million times. In the early days of the page, we were a lot more direct with our messaging when we realized that, hey, you know, this is taking on a real vegan tone here. It's becoming a real advocacy page. So we thought, okay, well here, let's go. We're going to go down the vegan animal rights activist road. What happened? The vegans loved it. The non-vegans, the comments slowed down. We stopped seeing that engagement, that response from them. The way we look at it is, there's no point in us preaching to the vegan choir. We can't change anybody's life if all we're doing is speaking to vegans. So non-vegans are Esther's target audience, making that connection and hoping that it grows to a much deeper level. So there's one thing that we could say as to how this all happened to us and why we went from you know, we call ourselves accidental activists. Because we went from non-vegans to this. You know, we dedicate every single day of our lives to being animal advocates. And had you asked me 5 years ago if that would happen, I would have thought you were insane. I would have thought you were absolutely nuts. But anybody can change. Anybody can change if they've got support, if people are kind to them, and they've got somebody in their corner to help them do it. So please remember that. In little words of advice from Esther, be kind to the people that you meet that don't quite think the way that we do yet. Because if I can change, anybody can. So just remember that, try to be kind to the people that you talk to. And I guarantee you'll see the results are absolutely phenomenal. So thank you very much for having me today, guys. Again, sorry Derek wasn't able to join me. This all happened very, very last minute, but we're super excited to be here. We're here for the End of Meat premiere tonight, and we're doing a big talk tomorrow as well at the End of Meat conference. So we're going to be doing our TED Talk and a couple other things. So if you make it, we'd love to see us.